Hi, I'm Kay.
I'm Trish, and this is Molly.
And welcome to our channel, Crafting Cousins times 2. If you're new to our channel, please click the subscribe button, the red subscribe button below in the left corner. And if you ring the bell when it comes up, YouTube will let you know every time we upload a new video.
This is our very first episode of Craft Chat.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
I am too. But we do plan to post a Craft Chat video every Saturday. So we hope that you will join us each Saturday where we're going to be talking about all things crafts. We're going to talk about craft shows, what you might need, funny things that happen. So we hope that you will come back and get to know us a little bit better. If you have any topics or ideas that you would like for us to discuss, if you will leave a comment below, then we will make sure to include those in future videos.
And since this is our very first Craft Chat, we would like to introduce ourselves to you and let you get to know Crafting Cousins a little bit better, how we got started and some things about us. So in this episode, we're just going to talk in general. And then in the next 2 episodes, we're going to talk about each of us specifically. I'm going to interview Trish.
And I will be interviewing Kay.
Absolutely. So then you can know more about us and feel like you're just a part of the family.
Keep it all in the family.
That's right.
In episodes 4 and 5, we are going to actually be talking about things that to do with craft shows. It is craft season. Actually, it's the season that you start getting ready for craft shows. So we're going to let you know what to expect. If you're thinking about doing craft shows, we're going to talk about what you would need to get started and things that you can expect.
Yeah.
Because you always need things you think you won't need, and then you don't need things that you think you're absolutely going to have. So we're going to go over all of that with you and get into crafting more. So you might want to now pause this video
and grab a cup of coffee
and let's chat.
And we're back. So let's talk a little bit about how we met, because we get that question a lot, along with, are you really cousins?
Because we do operate at craft shows under the DBA of Crafting Cousins.
We do.
So that's the first question people ask us. Are you really cousins? Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are. We really are. Our mothers are sisters, and so we're cousins. But we also get asked, are we identical twins sometimes, which is funny, because when our hair is pulled back, we look quite similar at that point, right?
Especially since we dress alike.
Yeah, and we do dress alike.
We dress alike at craft shows. We have our hair pulled back, and everybody always thinks that we're twins, which is funny to us because we know that we're cousins. Kay likes to tell everybody, oh, and I'm the older one, which she is, but she doesn't look it.
Yes, I do.
So it's always funny to me that people think that we are twins.
Yeah, but it's funny to me too. I always tell her she should be highly insulted.
I am not highly insulted. Kay was my first friend.
That's true. She was my first friend. I was there right after she was born, I'm pretty sure.
We've been together ever since.
Yeah. So we started actually Crafting Cousins about a year ago this month.
Pretty much.
I think I called you last February and I said, hey, I just started making wreaths a few months ago and I think I'd like to do my first craft show. And can you give me some advice?
And since I had done craft shows before, I had some insight. As anybody who's ever done craft shows know, it changes all the time.
Yeah.
So there are basic things that you need to know, and I did have a grasp on those. I knew how to help her with that, and then we have learned together through the rest of it, through all the trial and error and what would work better. And Kay has really good ideas about that. So that's how we came together. Mm-hmm. Probably the second biggest question we get asked is, do we live near each other?
And no.
We don't.
We don't. We actually don't even live in the same state.
Kay lives in North Alabama and I live in Midwest Georgia. So we're probably about 4 hours together or away from each other. It doesn't matter if you go down the interstate or if you go through the small back roads, which we both prefer.
I do.
It takes about 4 hours to get from her house to my house.
It does.
But we don't mind it too much.
And we make it work because it opens up a lot more territory for us. And that's really good because I live in kind of a small town, although Huntsville's right nearby and it's a big town, but not necessarily is there a craft show every weekend. And sometimes maybe I can't do the dates that they have in the first place. And so by having such a wide territory, sometimes we meet in the middle.
We do.
And we've actually spent the night in hotels and so forth. But most of the time we just travel to each other's house, and I have a room at her house and I
have a room at her house.
That's right. And
we try to keep it within maybe a 2-hour radius.
Exactly.
Of our house.
Most of the time it's within 2 hours. So we'll get up the next morning and take off, and it's a big adventure.
It is. We'll get into that in future videos.
Absolutely.
Some of the things to expect, especially when you're doing out of town craft shows, what you can look for and expect in that. But we have made it work. I think I've enjoyed it. I've got to see a lot of the countryside that I wouldn't have gotten to see otherwise, and there are some beautiful places between Kay and I, and maybe one Saturday we could actually take them along and show them some of the places in between.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take you along on our journey, and I'll put the camera up in my car as I drive, and Trish can do the same thing. And how our partnership works so well, one of the things is we don't make the same items. So I guess I should tell you that, and that'll be very interesting to you as we go along and we share our crafts and so forth, because I make things like traveler's notebooks and mini albums. I started out, of course, making wreaths, and then I made hair bows because I had a lot of ribbon. Maybe some of it was left over from when I used to make hair bows for my daughter back in the day. And also I bought somebody's D-stash, and so I started making hair bows to supplement when my wreaths didn't sell. And then I also make necklaces that have pendants on them that you can change in and out. So a lot of different things that I've done over the last year.
And the kids' items, though.
Oh, and the kids' items. Yeah, I make
the most popular.
They're the most popular. I make crowns and wings and wands, like fairy wings with ribbons and roses and lace and just a lot of different things. And they like that a lot. Tulle also.
And I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. I tease people tease Kay, I should say, at fairs and tell everyone that Kay does the things that are very detail oriented and takes so much patience because she adds so much stuff to it, and I do what I call the easy stuff that you can slap together and put out there. Now it does have a lot of steps to it, I won't lie about that, but it is something that I don't have to spend so much time doing minute details like she does. But I deal a lot with wood. I love working with wood. My husband not so much because I make a mess in his shop, but I do make wood signs like you put on your wall, home decor, small wooden block frames that can be used for various different things. I make kid items as well. I like to sew, so I make travel doll houses that the kids can use their imagination, maybe when they're in the car or at church or doctor's office. And I also make deco scents. Yeah. That's one of my newest items, so it's always the hardest one for me to remember. I did do car charms for a while that you hang up from your rear view mirror, and it just gives your car a little bit of decoration. We like the cute. We like to be decorative, so we use those. But then I thought about something to make your car smell good, so started making the little she may want her mommy. I started making the scent packs that you can change in and out and give your car a scent while looking good. So we do have different items. I think that helps with our booth.
I think so too.
It helps bring people in, and that kind of brings me probably to our next point is, why do we do this together? Yeah. What's the point of doing it together? Why not? If since we live so far apart, why don't we do it separately? True, but as I said earlier, it opens up more territory. That's one thing, because I can go on a weekend that works for me. We might do something near you and vice versa. But also there's the trust level that we have, of course, because we are first friends and cousins and family, and I don't have to worry about things going missing, and well, let's be honest, most craft fairs are all day. You get there in the morning, you set up, you don't leave into the evening. At some point, you're going to have to go to the restroom. Yeah, true. And it's nice to have a partner there that you can trust that's going to take care of your stuff, sell your stuff, Kay is really good at selling my stuff. I go to the bathroom sometimes more than I need to so she can sell my stuff. But,
yeah, because it seems like by the time you leave, then somebody wants to buy something.
Exactly.
And vice versa.
Exactly.
Also, you've sold my items as well.
So that works. It also helps with being able to fill a tent. Inventory purposes.
It does. Because I have a mid-size SUV, but you have to take a lot of things just for setup for craft shows. And this way we divide that. I have to take half as much setup stuff, and I can't fill up a whole tent because I have smaller items.
And my items aren't huge. I mean,
no, they're not.
The reefs are probably the biggest thing we have, but we use those for color along the back to be able to catch the eye. So when you've got a lot of items in there, people are more interested in your display. If you see that they've got several things, you're going to get closer so you can see what those are and see if there's something that you like. Whereas if you go by a show tent that only has 2 or 3 items, you may look at that and say, oh, well, I don't need any of that, and not even stop.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It helps. It also helps whenever you do back-to-back shows.
True.
And maybe she sold a lot and I didn't, so she doesn't have as much time next week to replenish her inventory. I can move some of my stuff around and help fill that void.
Yeah, and let's be honest, splitting the fees, because craft shows are very expensive, or they can be, not all of them, but sometimes you like to do the bigger shows because it has more traffic. You've got more people coming in, so you got more opportunity to sell your items.
You do.
And so we get to split the cost.
Well, and let's just talk about it real quick. Whenever you are applying for craft shows, it's not like you can wait till the week before to book or pay. You are normally booking and paying at the beginning of the year so that you can get in. So you're paying for all of them at once. So if you're paying for 12 months worth of craft shows, you can have a pretty tidy amount there, and we can split that cost.
We can.
And so that helps us to be able to do more shows.
Yeah.
Because we aren't having to come up with so much money off the top. So
Absolutely.
there's lots of pluses to having a partnership.
It is, and like where I'm weak in some areas, then you're strong, and vice versa.
This is true.
And like, I'm an idea person, but sometimes I can't execute it. So I'll call Trish up and go, hey Trish, can you make us a logo for our shirts? And I'll pick up the shirts. I'll even give you vinyl. But she's a lot better at her Cricut and or the Cameo or whatever.
Well, I've done marketing and logo making and websites in my past life, so that helps me with that. When Kay was a teacher, that will helps her be more organized and come up with ideas of things that we can do. Kay is also really good at being able to think about the decorations, what catches the eye, what will pull people in, because you don't want to just throw up a white tent and set a table up and throw a cloth over it and set your stuff out.
Exactly.
That's boring. So Kay is really good at that creative, bringing things in. And then on the other end of that, I think that I probably excel with contacting the festivals, talking to the people, finding out where we fit in and how we go about getting that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of work that a lot of people don't think about. The fun part's the crafting part. That's what everybody thinks about, but not always the other. But we've probably got a little bit too in depth in that, and we are going to have a video where we go into that completely.
Absolutely,
and tell
by
you
the
what to do.
details, because as I told you, I contacted her last February because I was just overwhelmed. And there are places on Facebook you can go, honestly, and you can find out about festivals, but you don't necessarily know if that's going to work for you. So that's really important.
We've went to festivals before where it just didn't fit for us.
Yeah,
they
just
were
not
more
a good
of
fit.
a vintage antique thing, and we are more crafts.
Yeah.
So
arts and crafts.
It's a lot. It's a big learning curve.
It is a big learning curve.
And you can pretty much bet that your whole first year is going to be a learning curve, and most of your second year.
Yeah, we've changed a lot over this year. Like I changed specifically the things I make, because I found in my area especially, I wasn't selling some items. So I retired making those items, and I've tried to clear out my inventory in different ways. And so I've evolved and changed that way. I personally, as a personal growth thing, I've learned to make those long distance drives again. I had gotten away from that and become kind of a hermit being at home. I'm an empty nester, and I moved about 8.5 years ago to North Alabama from South Alabama, and I didn't go back to work as a teacher. I retired from that, and so it's stretched me in a lot of ways. So it's been very good, and I've learned to talk to people again and learned how to sell, because that was a skill I didn't think I ever possessed.
Well, you've done really good with the sales. I mean, you really have.
Much better.
She has become in a year from apologizing for the price of
did a
what
lot.
she has made, even though she knew how much work was in it, to being able to stand there and know her product, know her value, and know her time, and not apologize to anyone. And that's important because you got to be able to stand behind your product. And
Absolutely.
if you know it's worth it, then you can make them feel like it's worth it.
That's right.
I struggled with that part a little bit myself, and I think we've grown together with that.
I think so too.
The way we've evolved. I have always been kind of outgoing because in my position I dealt with a lot of different people, but I was sick over the last year. That was basically how I got with her. I had some health problems and had to basically medically retire from my job. So it is easy to become a hermit.
It is.
It's absolutely easy to become a hermit. You stay at home and you do things. So it has helped me be able to get back out and talk to people and realize how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's also expanded my crafting ideas because the more you do, I think the more creative you become.
And plus, we feed off of each other because, like your block frames, I said, hey, why don't you do those for rustic weddings as table numbers? And you had not thought of that.
Not at all.
And they are just beautiful. And you can theme them to the wedding and the colors and
personalize them.
Personalize them.
Put their names on them. And
I love those. I love those.
That's probably our biggest strength is we feed off of each other.
Yeah. You give me ideas. You said, okay, well, that's not selling this way. Why don't you change it this way? And having a partner, I don't know if I would have lasted the whole year if I didn't have you as my partner to feed off of and continuously help me.
I know I wouldn't because a couple of years ago when I was doing it, when I first started, I had a couple of people who were working with me, and it was a lot of fun because you get to spend that time with your girlfriend. You get to talk. You get to bounce ideas off of each other and grow that way. But there came a point where my friends couldn't go with me, and I did have to go to a few shows by myself, and it's just not as fun.
No.
It's not. You find yourself, or I found myself, because I had time on my hands, I would take my Kindle with me and sit down in a chair and read, and that's not a good thing at a craft show, which we will cover later, but that's where I found myself. So I think I have grown through this quite a bit and evolved.
I think I have too. I mean, and just simple things like learning to put up the tent and take down that tent and deal with bad weather and just so many things we have dealt with. We have so many funny stories. In 1 year, we have a ton of funny stories, and we will cover those in future videos because I think you'll enjoy those. You should come back for just that.
You want to tell them what the number one rule of craft shows are? Oh,
yeah. Number one rule for craft shows for Trish and I is nobody gets to freak out at this. We can't both freak out at the same time, basically.
Right. One of us has to calm the other one down because you don't want to be freaked out, and things always happen. And that also seems to be another strength of ours. If Kay starts getting upset, I find myself calming down and calming her, and vice versa. When I start getting upset about something, that something didn't go wrong, we forgot something, she's like, it's okay, we can do this, we can do that. So that's probably the number one rule.
Yeah, we just have to make it work.
Yep.
Because sometimes there is nothing else you can do.
As Tim Gunn says, make it work.
Yeah, and I say all the time, we do what we can do. That's what I say.
That's it.
We do what we can do. It is what it is. That's right. So not every day is successful, but hey, you live to serve, to work another craft show every day. You know, there's another one.
This is true.
So every Saturday we'll be talking craft chat time, and we have some other videos we'll drop during the week.
So we hope that you'll join us each Saturday for Craft Chat. We have lots of topics coming up that we can't wait to share with you, and we hope that you'll come back and learn all about us and about craft shows and hear some of our funny stories. But even through the week, we are hoping to drop 5 videos a week. Isn't that what you said?
Absolutely.
She's going to hold my feet to that because I have a tendency to procrastinate. So it's up to her to keep me on track. And
my strength.
That's her strength. So this week, the first 2 days, Mondays and Tuesdays, we'll actually be swapping out. Some weeks I'll have Monday, some weeks she'll have Tuesday, but we do have a schedule on Mondays. It's going to be Made It Mondays, and this Monday I'm up. So join me Monday and I will show you a craft that I have made that's for sale in our Etsy store, or will be. We haven't quite got that up yet, but it'll be up very soon. You can purchase them online if it's something that you like, and I'm excited to share that with you and show you what I made.
Absolutely. And on Tuesday, we'll have Tutorial Tuesdays. And the first one coming up is a Valentine's swag because, oh my goodness, Valentine's Day is so close now. What, 2 weeks away?
It is.
Less than 2 weeks? About 2 weeks. So Tutorial Tuesdays, and on Wednesdays will be probably me.
That's all you.
That's all me. We do hump day hauls. So that's on Wednesdays. I do my haul videos. You can see what I managed to pick up at a good price at Hobby Lobby or Dollar General or Dollar Tree.
Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning. Oh, my favorite store.
Let's be honest. It's an excuse for her to shop. She
Absolutely.
likes to shop.
Well, and I always need something for all my crafts.
This is true.
And at a good price helps me a lot and my customer.
And then on Thursdays, I'm back up. And this one is all me. It's trash to treasure. I love thrifting. I love finding things that other people don't really want anymore or don't see the value in, and turning them into something that is beautiful that you can use in your home or use outside your home in a different way. So I hope that you'll join me and learn how to turn your trash into treasure. And then, of course, every Saturday we will be back with Craft Chat.
With Craft Chat.
We'll come back and talk to you about a different topic each week, and we hope that you will join us.
And we have one more thing for you today. We want to talk about our giveaway. When we get to 300 subscribers, we are going to give away one of my crafts this first time. When we get to 500, we'll give something else away. But this is called a traveler's notebook. They're one of the things I make, and it comes with a lot of different pieces, items that make your journey in journaling and keeping organized, makes it more easy. So it has a compliment card on the front, and you can use this as a page marker. It has a Velcro closure. This is a totally covered panel. You've got Velcro to keep it together. You have a clear pocket with some note cards, your calendar, which is your planner.
Planner, yep.
And then you have some full-size notebooks. This is a jumbo traveler's notebook, so this is a very large notebook. Got some pocket folders. Got cards down in there. Got some washi tape, which is fabric washi tape. Bookmark. Another notebook. You have a matching pen and matching pen holder. We also have a jumbo paper clip that looks like a purse, and another type of clip that has 2 roses on it. So that's called a traveler's notebook, and this is the jumbo size. So we'll be giving that away. We'll do a separate video that you will need to comment on. You'll need to share the video on one type of social media, and you have to be a subscriber because we will go and verify that.
And for this giveaway, at least, it has to be inside the continental U.S.
True.
It is a very heavy book. It's very detailed, got lots of extras, and it's very heavy. It is something that you're going to want, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to do a giveaway that we can send out to people in different countries or outside the continental U.S.
Absolutely.
that we can afford to ship.
Absolutely. So hopefully you'll come back with us next week for Craft Chat, but also join us this week for Made It Mondays, Tutorial Tuesdays, Hump Day Hauls, and Trash to Treasure Thursdays.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. We appreciate your time. We hope that you will like us, share us, and talk to all your friends about us. And as always, come back and let's chat. Thank you so much for watching today. If you saw something you like, we hope you'll give us a big thumbs up. Leave us a comment and let us know what you think, and if you have any suggestions. We just love hearing from y'all, and it really does help our channel grow.
Bye, y'all.